If you've been following along with my series of how to film a testimony video, you'll know that B-roll is crucially important for your video, not just because it adds engagement, but also because it can save you in the edit. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what kind of B-roll you should get for your testimony video. Hey friends, my name is Tim LaPointe and I'm a videographer that helps churches and nonprofits tell their stories through video. And this is now the third video in our series of how to film testimony videos. So if you missed the other ones, be sure to go back, check them out, and also subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. So the first thing to remember with B-roll is that it should match the flow of your story, meaning that if your story is calm and peaceful, you probably don't want a whole lot of chaotic, shaky B-roll. But let's say you're doing a story about somebody who struggles with anger. That might be an opportunity where you could get a little more creative and chaotic, so to speak, with your B-roll. But you want to make sure that your B-roll shots match with the feel and the flow of your video. Here are the different types of B-roll that you should get for your testimony video. The first is lifestyle B-roll. So lifestyle B-roll might look like this. You might be filming with an empty nester and you might show her getting a cup of coffee, sitting down at the kitchen table all by herself. You might get a wide shot from the living room shooting towards the kitchen that shows her with the empty house all by herself. If you're filming with someone who just got out of prison, you might get a shot of a jail cell. Now, granted, that might be tough to get. You might have to look for something like stock footage or get a little creative with how you can represent that. But the main idea with lifestyle B-roll is showing the environment that either that person currently lives in or has come from. The second type of B-roll that you should get for your testimony video is family B-roll. And this could literally be shots of the family, or it could be one of my favorite methods of doing this is capturing shots of either somebody flipping through a photo album or family pictures sitting on a bookshelf. That could be a nice slider shot pushing into that. Other ideas for family B-roll would be maybe having them, if time and logistics allow for it, having them at a church service, filming them at the church, filming them serving together, filming them at a park. The more locations that you can add, the better, because it's going to add a sort of freshness to your video. Dad joke of the day: which trees like high fives? Palm trees. An often overlooked type of B-roll is exteriors and establishing shots, which can be huge for your video. It might be a wide shot of that person's house or a drone shot of their neighborhood. Now, if you're gonna get drone shots, make sure to get your Part 107 license and make sure you have the permissions that you need. But exteriors and establishing shots can help give great context to the story that we're seeing. Another type of B-roll that you can use is symbolic B-roll. Your B-roll doesn't always have to be literal, and sometimes it's honestly best if it's not. I've filmed with some people who have been through horrible situations where it wasn't appropriate to show a representation of that, and so instead we use symbolic things like showing isolation, showing darkness, showing loneliness, and that sometimes was them in a dark room or them standing in the woods alone, just trying to convey the feeling of what they're talking about without actually showing a physical representation of what they're talking about. Now, I know that some of these ideas may sound vague, but remember that B-roll is dictated by your story. So it's hard for me to come up with specific ideas for your video because I don't know your story. But if you're stumped, comment below, let me know. I'd be happy to try and help you come up with some ideas. If you have any types of B-roll that you use that I didn't cover, let me know in the comment section below. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to this channel because next week we're getting into the big one. We're going to talk about how to film a testimony video, so you don't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and I'll see you next week.